When it comes to watches, people express themselves depending on who they are. Some people are simple, others are more complicated. Watches are no different, and they're made to match the personality of their owner. I was always somewhat more flamboyant. Coming from Southern Europe, having extreme colors, gelled hair, and be ready to party at all times was always something that followed me. It might have something to do with the sun, with the sea. Who knows? Now, back to watches. When you're trying to find something that's a little more complicated, a little more sophisticated, the average complicated watch will have typically a date, maybe a day date, or a chronograph. If you're a traveler, your mind will first go to a GMT watch. Not only the Rolex GMT, but any other watch that offers a GMT complication is highly valued in the watch community. But there's no doubt, like it or not, that the World Timer is a more sophisticated version of the GMT. When it comes to World Timers, there's not so many options, as it's a much more complicated complication, if you will. And when I talk about world timers, I'm talking about true world timers, which means that everything should be operated by the crown or maybe a secondary button, as Patek Philippe intended back in the 1930s. There's few ways to go about getting a world timer. You can either go with whatever is fashionable right now, or you can go vintage, or you can go with brands or models that are not necessarily very successful, but still, because of that, offer a lot of bang for the buck. And I think the World Galactic 44 Unitime is that watch. And as you see, this was an eBay purchase. eBay authenticity guarantee. This card comes with it. And maybe I should show the back of this, how it looks, and some cards congratulating you for your purchase. But let's open up this box and see what we have. Now this is the old style box. It's a little more luxurious, if you ask me, than the new Breitling boxes. And it came with the leather case. It was a gray market, so it didn't have the warranty card, but it does have the certificate of chronometry that comes with every Breitling watch. And the booklet with the instructions. Now, and there she is. This is how the watch came, except for the bracelet. The bracelet was an aftermarket, non-OEM, so not original. It's made so that it looks like a Breitling bracelet, but I did not buy the original. So it came with a Breitling cover. You see the little B on the top. And this is it. Now, this watch is 44 across, but it's 44 without the protection lugs. You will see that it wears much bigger than that. It's almost 46 up here to the crown guard. And this is to be expected with Breitling. The height is 15.5. Much of that is the crystal. It's a dome sapphire crystal. And then the lug to lug is 55.5. So It's a big watch. There's no way around it. I have a 7.5-inch wrist, so there's no problem for me. But if you have anything smaller than 7, I would say that this watch is not for you. Now the lock width is 22. And this specific bracelet, again, non-OEM, but it's made to copy the mesh bracelet from the Super Ocean, comes down to 18. This watch came with leather band. Excellent leather band, I might add. Excellent leather. Thick. But nothing to cheer about. I mean, I think that the mesh bracelet elevates this watch. I also got a rubber strap from Etsy. These are not OEM, but they look incredible, I have to say. And I'm looking forward to wear this in the summer. But back to the watch. We're looking at 44 technically, but it's really like a 45 to 46 with the crown guards here. And if you ask me, this is the best deal in the market. I've got many watches in my life. I had anything from Seikos to Tudors to IWC, but this is the best deal I ever got. We're looking at the bimetal case. The case is 316L stainless steel, and then the bezel is tungsten. Tungsten is 5 times hotter than steel, so I don't expect this to scratch anytime soon. The case itself, though, is a whole different story. I don't know if you can tell, I already have some scratches there. It's fully polished, so that's to be expected. Now, what's special about this? Well, if you do a little research online, you will see that an average world timer is about $6,500, and that's on discount. The retail price of this watch is $8,300 on a strap and $9,000 on a bracelet. The same price is for the Seamaster World Timer, but that sells even higher. This is an older model. This is a 2015, and because it didn't sell that well, I was able to pick this up for $3,000, tax included. And for that kind of money, I don't think you can get anything better. We're looking at true world time function, so we're gonna unscrew the crown. It's gonna pop up, and pulling the first position, you see that the first position is a world time function. So the outer ring that displays the cities is going around, and the hour hand is following with it. And then second position, it hacks the movement. Now you're able to change the time, and you see that the inner ring here, the 24-hour ring, is going with it. So every time you do something, these rings are moving with it. With the hour is moving, and then with the hour hand, the cities are changing. And then you're able to tell, you could put the reference time up to 12. So now we are New York in this case, but it's summer, so I'm gonna go to New York summer. This red marking there shows the summertime, so that's how you know. Then screw down crown, 100 meters water resistance. And in here is the caliber B35, the first in-house Breitling movement that is not chronograph. Looking at the back, engraved Breitling, beautiful, as Breitlings tend to be. Now, if you look online, you will find many different articles about this. They will tell you that it's based on 2892, the ETA movement, but that says only part of the story. The architecture might be the same, but the 2892 is a 26 millimeter movement, and this one is a 36. So maybe they kept the architecture of the movement, but they enlarge it, and they make that in-house at Breitling. And on top of that, they put the world time module on it. So this one has 41 joules. So I don't know how many watches you guys know that you have an in-house movement, 41 joules, 70 hours power reserve, and all that for $3,000 tax included. Now, if you do a quick search, you will see this at about $6,500, but if you look a little closer, you will find this at around $3,500 now, and that's how I pulled the trigger. I used to see this all the time. I used to spend time researching about it, but at $6,500, I couldn't afford it. At $3,000, I think it's a bargain. And it has the logo that I love, that gold B, and it's a solid gold B. I mean, it's 18 karat solid gold B, for whatever that matters. So you have technically 3 different metals here, and the indices are rhodium plated for that beautiful Breitling shine. So that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this watch. What watch would you like to see next? Till the next one. Ciao.